From CNY Central, this is CBS 5 News at 11 with Michael Benny.
Good evening. You're watching the only local newscast to bring you the biggest stories of the night and the first alert forecast right off the top. Here's meteorologist Mike Brookins.
Hey, Michael, it was nice to see that sunshine right at the end of the daytime, but with the clear sky, calm wind, we've got some chilly temperatures already in the 30s, some spots near freezing, and later on tonight, we're expecting good hard frost in much of the viewing area. You can see these warnings, or at least advisories for that, and even a freeze warning for Oneida, Herkimer, and Otsego counties to the east, where temperatures could fall into the 20s for a couple of hours. We are high and dry as far as precipitation goes. It's those temperatures we're tracking, 34 in Penn, 39 right now in Syracuse, and we should drop about another 5 more degrees. So we're thinking middle 30s, a chance for frost, except for maybe the city of Syracuse and along Lake Ontario's shoreline. Looking ahead tomorrow, a little bit milder, 58, with rain showers developing by the afternoon. Michael?
Thank you, Mike. At 11 o'clock, these are the top 5 stories on CBS 5 News. New at 11, some of the calls were to report suspected child abuse. More than 100 people dialed a special number tonight as the broadcasters of Central New York teamed up to shed new light and offer new perspective on stopping child abuse. The one-hour special, Protecting Our Children, aired earlier tonight here on CBS 5. Alex Dunbar has the latest on its outcome just ahead. News Sense 6, the struggling Postal Service may avoid immediate bankruptcy. The Senate just passed a bill that would give the agency $11 billion to delay closing 100 post offices and ending Saturday delivery. The money would also pay off debt and reduce the costs of offering retirement incentives to about 100,000 workers. Postal Service employees say the bill won't go far enough to curb the agency's financial outlook. Looking ahead, the town of Clay is considering allowing giant retailer Walmart to expand its walls even further. The current store on Route 31 near the Great Northern Mall is the subject of this. Some neighbors are unhappy about the potential expansion, though. We'll get more from Caitlin Nuclo about what the town is considering to soothe traffic concerns. New information on the exit of a local company and a lot of jobs. 108 people will likely lose their jobs next year when Clear Edge Filtration shuts down 2 local facilities, one in Skaneateles Falls, the other in Moravia. The manufacturing company is moving its process to Oklahoma. The local workers will be offered the chance to relocate. The latest tonight on Syracuse Crunch hockey. The Crunch fans were hoping for another win. It did not happen tonight. The Crunch fell to St. John's 5-1 in Game 3 of the Eastern Conference playoff series. For the season for the Crunch to continue, the team needs to win the next 2 games. We have highlights coming up in sports. In just the first hour of our coverage, starting at 5 o'clock this afternoon, the special hotline that was set up to answer your questions on child abuse took 1 call every minute. Protecting Our Children was the main focus of Central New York broadcasters tonight. During the 7 o'clock hour, no matter which station you turn to, 3, 5, 6, 9, YNN, it was all the same. An unprecedented simulcast of a critical show. If you missed it, you can see it in 3 separate YouTube clips posted right now at CNYCentral.com. And CBS 5's Alex Dunbar has the story.
As soon as the lines opened up, volunteers had a steady stream of callers with questions. Talking about child abuse can be uncomfortable for many people and a difficult conversation to start. So the event gave people a chance to reach out.
A lot of people have somewhat unusual circumstances where they suspect child abuse and they're not quite sure where to go with that information. And so they're looking for a little direction, and I think we're able to help them out with that.
Police, child advocates, and health workers all took calls from 5 to 9 o'clock tonight. Many of the volunteers who deal with child abuse every day were surprised by the number of calls coming in, but not the issues that were raised.
You can see with recent, headline cases that this is a really prominent issue, and it's something that, while not talked about, it continues every day. At McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center, we are seeing it every day.
As the Protecting Our Children special started airing on all the Syracuse TV stations, callers were looking for more details and what to be watching out for.
And those have been a lot of the calls. Is this abuse? Is this not abuse? And those are great questions to be asking because those lead to more awareness and reports and help for the kids.
The Protecting Our Children special already inspired 2 adults to come forward in person with cases of suspected child abuse. And volunteers here tonight hoping this is just the beginning of a conversation and that some of the calls they took here tonight will lead to changes in the weeks and months ahead. For now, reporting from the WCNY studios in Liverpool, I'm Alex Dunbar.
Tonight, police are looking for help in identifying the man they say flashed a young girl. This happened Monday at the Salina Public Library on Belmont Street. Police say the suspect was wearing a maroon hoodie and rectangular reading glasses with metal rims. He was last seen leaving the library in a white or light gray, newer model Toyota. Anyone with information on who this guy is asked to call sheriff's deputies in Onondaga County. The town of Clay may be seeing one of its major retail stores get even bigger. Walmart wants to turn its current store into a super center on Route 31 near the Great Northern Mall. But the possible expansion has some neighbors worried about traffic. CBS 5's Caitlin Nuclo is on that story.
The Town of Clay Planning Board has spent months going over site plans for the Walmart off of Route 31. A proposal's on the table for the major retailer to expand into a supercenter. And now the focus of state, town, and Walmart officials is on finding a traffic pattern that works.
Dell Center Drive is over capacity or near capacity, whereas Carling is under capacity. So we're trying to figure out a nice way to move traffic over towards Carling Road.
Well, the plan calls for Walmart to take over the closed Sam's Club on the lot right next door. It could bring more customers and more business into the town. Most agree that's a good thing, but with thousands of drivers traveling on Route 31 every day, some neighbors say traffic is already a headache and are concerned more cars will cause even more congestion.
Traffic on Sewell Road between 57 and 31 is ridiculous. Sometimes it takes me 30 minutes to get out of my street. I just find that unacceptable.
The planning board says this traffic issue is really the last piece of this puzzle. It will take another look at it at its next meeting on May 9th. Reporting in the town of Clay tonight, I'm Caitlin Nuclo.
And just days after 8 swan eggs were destroyed in Manlius, a man has turned himself in the case. Police arrested 23-year-old Ross Leone, who already had 2 prior drunk driving arrests, according to reports. Police say Leone took the eggs and smashed them on a sidewalk and against a wall. He's charged with criminal mischief, trespassing, and interfering with wildlife. The swan egg incident has sparked talk about creating tougher laws against animal cruelty.
We've seen so much animal cruelty lately, and I think there should be tougher laws. And I think all of this publicity in this event and in several others in the recent past are really making people more aware, and I think that there should be tougher laws. I think something more should be done.
Police have not ruled out the possibility that others may have been involved in this, the taking and the destroying of those swan eggs. Prosecutors weigh in on a report that implicates jailers in the death of an inmate at the Onondaga County Justice Center. Jim Kenyon investigates. Next, the top story from across the country, the parents of a missing Arizona girl speaking out for the first time about her disappearance. And CNY Central is giving you a chance to get big discounts. Our deal right now for the Cayuga Wine Trail. And you'll find it right on the homepage at cnycentral.com. The top story across the country tonight comes from Arizona, where the parents of a 6-year-old girl who police believe may have been abducted from her bedroom are speaking out, and they are begging for their child back. Teresa Garcia reports.
The distraught parents of Isabel Mercedes Celes took no questions from the media. It was their first time in front of the camera since their daughter disappeared from their Tucson home last Friday.
We are here today to plead for a safe return of our baby girl Isabel.
The Celeses made a direct plea to whoever may have their daughter.
Tell us your demands. Tell us what you want. We will do anything for her.
Isabel's parents last saw her in her bedroom Friday night. Police found an opened window screen, but aren't sure if the girl was kidnapped or just wandered off. Crews have spent days searching for her, even combing a nearby landfill. More than 200 officers participated in the effort, but Tucson police scaled back their operations Wednesday.
Doesn't mean that we've abandoned the search. We have just scaled back some of our personnel.
Some are comparing Isabel's disappearance to Elizabeth Smart's kidnapping in 2002. Smart was found alive 9 months later. Isabel's family thanked the authorities and volunteers and vowed to keep up the search.
We're looking for you, Isa. We love you, and we miss you so much, and we will never give up. We will never give up looking for you.
The FBI brought in specially trained investigators to work on a suspect profile. Teresa Garcia, CBS News.
More local news now. A man charged in what police are calling a brutal and heinous murder in Syracuse pleaded not guilty today. 41-year-old Lewis Swift is charged with second-degree murder in the death of 27-year-old Carnell Marshall. Marshall's body was found April 14th in a vacant lot behind a tire store. Police say he'd been savagely beaten, bludgeoned with a wooden board, and even burned with cigarettes. Another man, 27-year-old Gregory Ware, has already been charged with second-degree murder. A Syracuse pizza shop is back open after a car crash forced it to close earlier this week. It was a crash in spectacular fashion. The Domino's off Teal Avenue in Lincourt is back open. On Monday, a woman came to pick up a pizza when a worker says she slammed her car deep into the building, all the way into the back of the store. Amazingly, no one was hurt in that crash. Syracuse hospitals are hoping more people step up in life or death situations. Organ transplant waiting lists have grown by 10% just in central New York in the last year. Now leaders are announcing a new awareness campaign, hopefully to boost organ donor registration. Today, families of organ donors told their emotional stories.
We received a phone call from the medical examiner's office asking if we wanted to have Elena's tissue donated. And without hesitation, I knew in her death there could be life for someone else.
Patients on the organ transplant waiting list could be on it for more than 4 years. Krause, St. Joe's, and the VA Medical Center are all part of this program. Right now, about 17% of New Yorkers are organ donors. Coming up on CBS 5 at 11, the crunch in Game 3 action tonight at St. John's. Sports Director John Evanson has the highlights coming up next.
The Syracuse Crunch were far, far away tonight, literally as far as San Antonio, Texas, except the other direction, St. John's, Newfoundland, the eastern tip of Canada, hoping to make their trip worthwhile. Game 3 of a round 1 playoff series tied at 1 coming in, and Dan Sexton tying the game right back up at 1 here. Let's take another look, making some serious moves on his defender, wristing it to Twine, but St. John strikes again. Still in the first period, Derek Meach, lethal backhander, pass Eurotarki, 2-1 St. John's. Onto the second, Brock Trotter finds the rebound all alone. No one takes him, enters side door. Ice Caps leading 3-1. Then in the third frame, Raymond Sawada on the fast break. Beauty pass to John Albert. Puts the ice capper on it, if you will, as the Crunch are going to have to roll up their sleeves now. They go on to lose it 5-1. St. John's takes a 2-1 best-of-5 series lead, setting up back-to-back must-win games in the most literal sense this Friday and, if necessary, Saturday night. Both games in St. John's, but Patrick Baroon has a plan.
Finding ways to score goals. I mean, right now, I guess, you know, they dominate us today, and I guess we need to find a way to score a goal and maybe get at this goalie. This goalie's making big saves, so maybe we need to get in his eyes, frustrate him a little bit, and hopefully we can bounce back.
On to baseball, John Landon on the hill tonight for the Syracuse Chiefs, and Rochester already down 3-1. This one smacked to right field. This is Drew Butera coming in to score. 4-0 Red Wings. No big deal. 5th inning, Mark Tian tees this one up with the bases loaded. How about a grand slam to tie this thing back up? It's off Daryl Thompson. So, yeah, Chiefs fans can start the Daryl taunts. 4-4. And how often do we see this type of offensive outpouring from the Chiefs these days? They double up on the salami, add some mustard too. Jason Michaels, yet another grand slam. Syracuse takes a 8-5 lead there. They win it 10-5. Winning back-to-back state championships, amazing enough for the Cicero North Syracuse North Stars, but today the North Stars were soaking in a national honor.
Army National Guard nationally ranked trophy to Coach Smith and the Cicero North Syracuse North Stars.
Yeah, presented with the Army National Guard National Ranking Trophy. Finished the season ranked number 5 in the country by Max Prep's Tour of Champions for girls basketball. A month removed from their state championship. They're reflecting back now on, man, just all the amazing things they've accomplished here.
Just to know that this, as a senior and the other seniors, that this is the end, and I think everyone is just so proud of what we were able to achieve.
We were more of just a team, like we'll play it game by game and see how far we get, you know, work as hard as we can, and that'll get us as far as that can take us. So it was really a great accomplishment that we got this far.
The kids enjoyed, you know, the accolades that come along, the rewards that come along, the
the honors that come along, and we want to continue with those. So it's great motivation, and hopefully we can continue a tradition.
That's some hardware.
Yes, indeed. Woo. And Stewart is off to play with Team USA again, and then she reports to UConn in June, she tells me. So exciting months ahead.
I mean, it's great for her. It's also great for those other teammates to have played with her. You know what I mean?
They are, you know, they're family forever.
They sure
Amazing
are.
accomplishment.
Thank you, John. To the weather forecast right now, First Alert meteorologist Mike Brookins. It feels like we are so close to breaking this trend we've been in.
Yeah, we are going to, I think, as we go through gradually towards next week, we see a pattern change. We've got to get through a chilly night tonight and one more chance for near rain or snow type of mix coming up tomorrow night. But first, let's break down today. The high temperature 50, that was with that breaks of sunshine towards the very finish of the day, helped jump out of the 40s where we were most of the day. 62, our typical high. That was 12 degrees above. 36, that's our current temperature. Normal low is at 40 degrees. Yeah, we are going to head down to frosty cold levels. Near freezing at much of the viewing area, except for the city of Syracuse along Lake Ontario shoreline. So protect any tender vegetation, cold-sensitive plants right now. A dry start to Thursday. I think we're looking good for the morning with some partial sunshine early on. But rain showers will be developing during the afternoon, especially late day when it could be a soaking rainfall. Some rain and snow for early on Friday. We'll briefly touch back into the 30s and then start to improve towards late day on Friday. But it is going to be cool this weekend, near 50, maybe upper 40s, but at least we'll have dry conditions. The system will be tracking just to our south for Saturday and Saturday night, but I think any of the meaningful precipitation stays down to our south in Pennsylvania. Well, no meaningful precipitation or even cloud cover right now, and that's why we've really fallen off as far as the temperature this evening. We're at 36 at this hour. Wind is calm, but there will be some clouds drifting through from time to time, so we shouldn't find too much more of a temperature fall. Maybe making down close to freezing in some spots. And below that, when you get into the rural areas, it's already 34, pretty close to that in Penn Yan, 34 in Fulton. So there'll likely be some frost when you wake up tomorrow morning. We've got some clouds over Lake Ontario, over Canada. Those will be drifting in later on tonight. This batch of precipitation we're tracking is weak and probably be dying out, but passing to our south. Eventually, there'll be another round that forms way up in Canada and that drops down in as we go into tomorrow afternoon. So starting off tomorrow, dry, partly sunny, a little bit chilly with that frost early on, but we warm up. Winds will be out of the southeast, shifting to the south and southwest, eventually bringing in some of this moisture, especially late in the afternoon going into the evening, these rain showers. There's a cold front that drops our temperatures into the 30s tomorrow night as that swings through. And late at night tomorrow night, that's when we could find a rain-snow mixture. Some of the hilltops to the south of Syracuse could find in isolated spots a coating to an inch or two, but this is nothing like what we had earlier this week. It's going to be first light and then also scattered for Friday early. And in fact, by mid to late afternoon Friday, this should be all gone. And we should be dry then for a good strong period, long period, I should say. And eventually that's going to be warming us up. Tomorrow we briefly do make the upper 50s. So that's a little bit closer to average, which is lower 60s. But then we go back to some cooler weather for several days after that. So definitely cool late tonight. Frosty levels 35, 34 in Syracuse, but some clouds start to move in. And those clouds thicken during the morning, but we stay dry. Temperatures do rise pretty quickly. We get up to 58, but once the showers move in, we begin to fall during the afternoon. Some mixed rain and snow showers for Friday morning. It'll be a windy, chilly day. By late day, we're dry with some peaks of sun, 47, 49 both weekend days. Partly sunny to mostly cloudy Saturday, system to our south. More sunshine Sunday. Lots of sunshine on Monday, middle 50s. And there you see some 60s coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday. Track any rain or snow towards Friday with interactive Doppler radar at cnycentral.com.
Thank you, Mike. Tomorrow at 5 and 6 o'clock right here, I hope you'll join us for a critical look at drowsy driving. There were more than 1,100 deadly accidents in New York State in 2010 blamed on that. Kasten Hirsch's son, Jordan, died in a crash in 2010. On his way home from Binghamton University, the car drifted off the road and crashed into trees. He believes his son fell asleep at the wheel.
Everybody who's has lost a child, or not just a child, just anybody that they love, they ask themselves, what could I have done? And I could have taught him a little bit better about the dangers of fatigue driving. I wish I would have done that. I never did.
Join us tomorrow at 5 and 6 to hear more about this story and what you can do to prevent drowsy driving. There are calls for major change tonight after a scathing report out this week that finds the death of an inmate at the Onondaga County Justice Center is the fault of the jailers there. And there's also criticism of the county medical examiner's office. CBS 5's Jim Kenyon investigates.
The State Commission of Correction report declares the death of Raul Panett a homicide and says he died of asphyxia during restraint. In other words, the 31-year-old suffocated at the hands of jail deputies. The report found deputies placed Panett in a spit mask that shifted and interfered with his breathing. And as he struggled, deputies kneeled on his back and neck. After he stopped moving, they left Panett unattended for 7 minutes. The New York Civil Liberties Union is calling upon the district attorney to launch an intense investigation. Barry Gawanter says it confirms what they already knew about the death of Raul Panett.
He begged them not to kill him, and yet that's exactly what he faced when he went through those doors.
First Chief Assistant DA Rick Trunfio says the office has been actively investigating the death of Raul Panett since the day it happened on August 6, 2010. Trunfio says the DA will take the state's findings into consideration.
Certainly we'll look at it, compare it to our findings, but our investigation is still ongoing.
This report by the State Commission of Correction also faults the Onondaga County Medical Examiner's Office, which found that the death of Raul Panett was the result of something called excited delirium. It basically says there's no scientific basis for such a determination. But Trunfio says the ME ruled Panett died of cardiac arrest, and excited delirium was the result of the drugs Panett had been taking prior to his arrest.
We go where the evidence leads us, and right now the only medical evidence that we have, which we find compelling, is the report of Dr. Stoppaker, who actually did the autopsy, and his autopsy findings were that there was this delirium.
Trunfio says in light of this report, it will be up to DA Bill Fitzpatrick to decide whether to take the case to a grand jury. Neither Sheriff Kevin Walsh nor County Attorney Gordon Cuffey will comment because Panett's widow has lodged a lawsuit. Jim Kenyon reporting.
We have the top stories in the forecast in the nightcap when we come back. The Late Show starts in 4 minutes. Here's the nightcap before we go. Here's Mike Brookins.
Hey, Michael, we are in store for a cold night tonight, but we'll warm up tomorrow to 58 after that frosty cold start. First half of the day should be dry, pretty decent with that wind out of the south warming us up. But then during the afternoon, rain showers will be developing, so the very finish of the day ride home should be wet. We could turn white in spots early Friday with some mixed rain and snow showers. It'll be a windy, chilly day at 47. The weekend dry, still chilly, but we warm up with a lot of sunshine early next week. Have a great night. Michael?
Thank you, Mike. Investigators say this man exposed himself to a young girl, and they want to find him. It happened Monday at the Salina Public Library on Belmont Street. He's described as a white man. He was in a maroon hoodie. He left in a white or light gray Toyota. If you have any information on this guy, call sheriff's deputies in Onondaga County. All of the Central New York broadcasters came together tonight in a collaborative one-hour special. We called it Protecting Our Children. More than 100 of you called in tonight with questions about everything dealing with child abuse. If you missed our special presentation, we have it for you, easy to watch in 3 separate YouTube clips. That's posted right now. It's the top story at cnycentral.com. A great night of television, and I was proud to be a part of it. Thanks for watching CBS 5 News at 11 tonight. I'm Michael Benny. For updates overnight or anytime, you'll always find what's happening now at cnycentral.com. Good night.